looks like it was a common area, maybe like a student union or like a common place where students are walking through indoors, and he's got a weapon in his hand. And I don't know if it was a shotgun or some type of rifle or one of these AR-15s that are getting a lot of attention, and rightly so. I can't really tell. But he walks in the door, and there's someone sitting there, and it looks like he is on like his Walkman. Not a Walkman, but he's got like headphones on, and he's on a device or something like that because his head is down. And there must have been some issue with the revealing of his identity, because on that particular video, he's actually blotched out. So he's all pixelated out, but you can tell that there's someone there, and it seems like it's a male. This person comes in and points the weapon right at him, scares the hell out of him. Another young woman, little co-ed's walking through, like, and she looks over like, oh, man with a gun. And she's just petrified. There's no audio, but she's just standing there. I mean, literally, like a kid might when you're playing freeze tag. I mean, literally, folks, I am not exaggerating. She just stands there. And I kind of fast forward a little bit after that because she was standing there just petrified. And then it looks like she screams and she runs off, okay? So the video goes on. The guy's just kind of standing there, and he's looking like he's looking for somebody to shoot. Keep in mind, he's already killed one person before he walked into the door. Out of nowhere, young man walks in. He's got a handful of, in his hand, he's got some pepper spray. Pepper sprays the guy in the face and then wrestles him down and quickly takes the gun from him and probably saved a lot of lives. Now, here's my point. Why am I telling you this story? Because initially I was talking about whether you agreed with or you believe that there should be a cap on these high-capacity ammunition magazines, okay? Well, here's my point. The reason why this man was able to tackle the shooter is because he was reloading. He was reloading. Going back to Sandy Hook, this man walked in, again, another one of these psycho sickos. His mommy didn't love him. His daddy didn't know him and all this other kind of stuff. Girls don't like me, okay? Birds don't like me, whatever the hell the problem is. My mama made me clean up my room today. You know, crazy things, man, crazy things. But you may not know this small detail that was really, well, I got it from the media, but a lot of people might have missed this. But there was like a class full of kids who were able to run out, and therefore they were saved at Sandy Hook because the shooter was reloading. It's reloading. So if you got some psycho sicko, I'd much rather they walk in with a weapon that maybe has 8 shots as opposed to 15, as opposed to 20, as opposed to even more than that. If it's possible. Wouldn't you? That just makes perfect sense. That just makes perfect sense. But then the other side is, okay, well, what if I have to protect myself from the government? Okay, that's always out there, right, with the Second Amendment. What's up, Blaze? Blaze Bowden. Good morning, room. Good morning, Blaze. Welcome. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. And currently it's almost 7:40 a.m. in the Queen City. Derek writes, Nate, did you hear that there will be no charges on the murder of the black Georgia teen who was found dead in his high school gym rolled up in a gym mat? I think his name was Kendrick Johnson. Yes, his name is Kendrick Johnson. They claim that they have insufficient evidence to move forward on any charges. I believe that young man was murdered. Murdered. And because you saw his face afterward. I don't believe I don't know. Anything's possible. But that story seems very, very shaky to me. Carolyn writes, Nate, normally I don't read The Inquirer, but an article caught my eyes this morning titled, Citizens Make Her Stand in OTR Alley. It's titled In OTR Alley, Confrontation Over Bricks. Please read. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I will check that out during the break. Cruther writes 3. I'm not sure what that means right there, Cruther. When you say 3, you mean like the third option that I was talking about here? I think it should be more difficult for people who are mentally ill to pass a background check or to legally purchase a firearm, okay? I think it means we need to give law enforcement the tools that they need to apprehend the systems, forces, individuals involved with the underground, weapons trade. That's 2. And 3, let's close the gun show loophole and the internet loophole. I mean, some of these psycho sickos are going online purchasing all kinds of ammunitions. And then pray. That's what Christians will say. And then pray a whole lot. Nathan Ivey with you. The Nathan Ivey Show continues right after this.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plato and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Good morning. Welcome back. Nate Ivey in the air chair. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, powered by the good folks at Superlative Media. They do great work. What's popping in the city? What's going on where you live? Give me some idea. If you ever have ideas for the show, and again, or particular guests, you're like, look, I'd love to hear Nate interview this particular individual. Hey, let me know. Send the info my way. A lot of folks do it already via, we'll say, Facebook. But you can find my contact information on my website, Nathan Ivey EY. And shout out to my good friends over at Soul Public Radio, the first affiliate of the show as we grow here every single morning. Currently 7:43 a.m. in the Queen City. I'm for background checks. I'm for all of that stuff. I don't think any of it is a slippery slope to losing your job. Losing your Second Amendment rights. I don't believe any of that nonsense. None of it makes any sense to me. Good morning. Welcome back. Man, LeBron James is receiving a lot of praise. A lot of praise. Even people like Jim Brown have weighed in. The legendary Jim Brown. Jim Brown was the man. A little before my time. But, again, my college years are very formative in terms of my setting the intellectual foundation. And then I found myself just reading a lot, researching a lot, learning a lot, and came across Jim Brown. Jim Brown was the man. First African-American action hero. Breaking the interracial, the color barrier. Was it Raquel Welch? Yeah. Jim Brown was a dude. Now, his domestic violence issues, I can't vouch for that. I can't even tell you I know any great details about it. I know the allegations, but putting that to the side. And again, ladies, that's not sexist. It's not sexist. If the man did something wrong, he should be prosecuted. You know me. I still think OJ did it. Even now, more than ever. Maybe. Because that Furman, man, Furman was such a racist that you never really know, quite honestly. And the fact that he was the one that found the bloody glove, I think OJ just got lucky in a sense that all those characters came together. And then he had the money to pay for individuals to spend all of their time working on it. OJ. Wayne LaPierre famously argued that the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And I don't know if he researched that beforehand, but damn, that makes a lot of sense on some levels. And that's why people are strapping up. Research shows that gun purchases go up after mass shootings. Did we need research to really tell us this? This story comes back from December of 2015, so it's less than a year old. That's what the research shows. There's a connection between mass shootings and fear because it can happen anywhere, so people are fearful. And I don't know about you, but if somebody starts a gunfight, I want to be able to fight. I want to be able to fight back. You know? And I don't think that's so uncommon. There's nothing wrong with that. But just look at how it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in John Lott's book, More Guns, Less Crime. He argues that armed citizens increase the risk for would-be offenders, helping to prevent violent crime. And I'd like to know if you believe that's true. Like, for instance, let's say more people in Hamilton County got strapped up. Let's say that Hamilton County got the reputation that, you know what, private citizens will take you out here. Is that going to dissuade crime? And what kind of crime are we talking about, right? I don't want somebody to get shot running from a Kroger store. I don't want someone to get shot or something like that. But, I mean, in terms of preventing mass shootings, do you think that will dissuade someone? I mean, it might. It may, should I say. Ms. D writes, Jim Brown probably had CTE undiagnosed. Probably. We'll find out one day, maybe. Charles writes, nah, Crystal, the Ultimate Warrior wasn't shade. The Ultimate Warrior was a bad mofo on WWF Wrestling. LBJ is just saying he's a bad man. Charles, I took it that way, but I'm here to tell you that there were some Golden State fans revved up by ESPN who were reporting it otherwise. Oh, look at LeBron. Now he flexing on you. Well, this is the time to flex. You know, all that beating on the chest that Draymond Green did, all during the season. How many times this man beat on his chest? Damn. I mean, screaming and yelling and flexing. He was doing that in Game 7. Now is the time to scream and yell and flex because you've actually won something. Speaking of winning something, I don't mean to burst your bubble. And I know I got many listeners who either live in Cleveland, know someone who lives in Cleveland, or maybe you know you've driven through Cleveland, okay? You know that there is a Cleveland, Ohio. You are aware that geographically there is a place called Cleveland, Ohio. Any of you individuals, my question for you is, and now what? Now what? Cleveland is in crisis. They're struggling. And how this championship ripple effect, it's going to be very interesting. Keep your eyes on this. It's going to be very interesting to see if it trickles down to, you know, the folks that LeBron James decided to bring a championship for. Now, what does that mean exactly? I mean, I guess you could take that a lot of different ways. You could say, oh, listen, if LeBron made it out, I can make it out. Maybe I'm not bouncing a basketball. Maybe I'm doing something else. But if he can bring a championship back home, hey, I can do the same thing. If that's how people take it, they take it that way. But how many rings are they passing out? I mean, am I going to get a chance to touch the O'Brien Award? Probably not. Probably not. I wouldn't kiss it. That's for damn sure. But probably not. So, you know, Dan Gilbert's going to make more money because they're going to charge you more tickets next year. You can get ready for that. Everything's going to go up. The T-shirts are going to be a little more expensive. The hot dogs are going to be a little bit more expensive. The beer is going to be a little bit more expensive because that's championship beer now. I'm sure some people are going to cash in, but is it going to affect, you know, the other neighborhoods in Cleveland? Like I said, I've driven through Cleveland many times, and you can go blocks for blocks, and it's like, damn, what happened? It's like, damn, I know they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but damn, I didn't hear about them dropping a bomb in Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, some of it can be a little bit depressing, although Cleveland's a beautiful place, filled with beautiful people. Mike writes, Europe has virtually no gun violence because guns aren't readily available. Mike makes a very, 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 very good point, is that there's a connection between the availability of weapons and the fact that weapons, you know, turn up so much in so many crimes and at night and everything and things like that. You got a lot of psycho sickos out here that they feel like they're nobody. They were nobodies, peons in high school, whatever the hell that means. You know, they never got the girl. They couldn't bounce a basketball. They were awkward and shy, like a lot of people are. And now they're grown-ups and they're still got a lot of problems. And sometimes they're on drugs, sometimes they're not. And see, some of these folks want to be famous. They want to be famous. They want to be feared. They want to be revered. They want to be infamous. It's like, damn it, I can't be famous, so I choose infamy then. Tiffany writes, morning, chop.